Prapti, so means etiology and pathogenesis. So in any disease model, including Buddhist quote unquote psychology, you have a cause, then you have the pathology or the process. And when it comes to shock trauma, developmental trauma, which all have different components and facets, this is my main argument actually in our field, and I see it being taught in our doctoral programs, and why I want to speak about this in yoga therapy and in Asian medicine, trauma. Because if you don't understand the cause or etiology and have a clear picture of that disease process or that illness experience, then treatment in a rational chikitsa or therapeutic approach is not going to follow the best practice. So if you don't have a trauma-informed background and you're a yoga therapist, and you may see that this is just vata vikriti, an increase in vata, and you might try to treat it with lung or biobehavioral regimens just to calm that lung down. You may not see what the early relational cause is, and note that it's not so much the asana, pranayam, or rationale of qigong intervention, mind-body intervention, or snehana with abhyanga, but more so it has to be with how do you speak to and relate to this person and share and hold space, which is going to be what we call therapeutic alliance and therapeutic presence. So we look at the neurobiology underlying clinical work or yoga therapy and self-healing, and we see that if we understand our own traumatic histories and the early causes and just what we needed, just what underlies our traumas and triggers, we'll see that the best medicine, whether it's nija or agantu, self-born or from outside, how we are and how we attend to our own experience or that of another relationally, becomes the context of trauma healing rather than the intervention itself, which is dealing with just the signs and symptoms, which could be, in Chinese medicine, appendage to the wrong disease. So we can see the outer face, the inner, and then what we call the secret means what is that dynamic internal cause that sets forth this trauma adaptation pattern, reactivity. It's not always just about survival. Sometimes it's about connection, loss, grief, anger, domination, oppression, racial stress, microaggressions. If we don't understand what is the cause and the context, we'll never be able to set up the environment, the systematic institutions, which are the actual medicine, nor will we know how to situate ourselves. That's why I think this conversation is really important,